Welcome to Sanity Loss. It is now a political podcast, as I was just informed a couple seconds ago. So,
It is. We have rebranded.
So, Elizabeth.
Welcome.
I mean, the deeper themes clearly point at a critique of the modern political system.
Mm-hmm.
If you really listen to the episode, you'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Only the true listeners will know.
So, oh man, now I forgot the party. I was going to make a joke. There's literally a party that is literally like the Nazi party, but it's like, I think it's like the National Socialists, like, or whatever. I don't know what it was called.
That's the one.
Yeah, so,
It's
Elizabeth,
like, you got it.
How does it feel to be part of that?
Well, I am not.
I know somebody...
And I never will be.
I know somebody who was accidentally put on there when they were getting...
How do you accidentally become a Nazi?
They wrote the wrong political party they were affiliating with.
Oh no!
But they probably assumed
the
that.
Thing is,
they probably assumed that socialist and socialism and all that are all the same, and well, they're.
No, I think it was just I don't know the whole story, but it's just like. Except I know the end result, and the funny thing is, I know John. I believe John knows who this person is too. I don't know if you know that story, but
I do not know that story. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, it is the
like side message of.
I was going to say
Ernest.
Oh,
the sister.
Okay. That's actually even funnier.
Yes, because she's like a history major, and she's like, I can't run for president anymore, and it's like. You wouldn't be able to run for president with all your allergies. You would have been assassinated way before.
Before you accidentally became associated with the Nazi party.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a mistake you don't want to make.
Well, she didn't. Whoever was filling out the paperwork for her did.
Well, I guess that's different, right? If like it's a clerical error on someone else's part, then okay, all right, we can make.
But it's still in the system for about 2 weeks.
and realistically, at this point in time, do you really think that the mass public would just consider that it was just a clerical mistake? No, they would absolutely murder that.
Oh, for
yeah.
sure.
The fact that she's a woman. No.
Planning. I was gonna say she
can't keep that hidden.
Yeah.
That's gonna come out.
I don't know. Surgeries have gotten pretty good. So.
Ooh, see, what are you talking about, Dave? This is absolutely a political podcast, and we don't even have to try that hard.
Yeah. And now that we have offended almost we offended the Christians last time by saying the bear ate Jesus.
Oh, that's right. You offended the Christians. I thought that was very funny.
I thought it was funny, but at the same time, it wasn't a joke I was totally comfortable saying. It was like one of those things that came out of my mouth, and I'm like, I don't really hold to that view of communion, but it's still like...
No.
It's like one of those jokes. I'm like, it's funny, a good little religious humor that doesn't have to do with like touching children, but it's like, hey, we're all friends here.
Oh my God!
You were worried about the last episode.
We should not be allowed to play in the evening. This is what happens.
This is gonna be the only episode that gets the explicit tag.
It's also gonna be the only one that everyone in our life listens to for whatever reason. They're just gonna jump into this episode.
This is gonna be the one that my neighbors just hear. Yeah, touching children.
Stop it!
Have you guys heard of the? You guys are familiar with Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they put out a song. I think it was for their like children's hospital groups. Like I think it was like the cancer, like kids that had like cancer or some. I don't remember the medical situation, but the way they wrote the song was they went and interviewed these children that are like between the ages of like maybe 5 to 10 years old, and they took what the kids said, made them into a song.
Okay.
Like and then got like a whole bunch of like, I think they're from New Zealand, right? I think so.
Sounds
That
right.
pretty much, yeah, a bunch of like other like famous artists like from where they originate from to sing the song, and I'm pretty sure there's a line like touching kids, touching you. And it's like it's what the kids say, and it's just like the whole video is set up like it's the beginning of like them interviewing, so everyone knows it's like, we didn't write this, it's what the kids literally said. But yeah, I can't remember, it's a couple of years old now.
Feel Inside, maybe?
Yes, I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's feel free to watch that on your own time. Because I'm not getting DMCA'd.
Yeah.
Flight of the Conchords, Feel Inside, and Stuff Like That is the title of that I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. And I remember watching that years ago, and it was funny. It still is. Because kids don't know what they're saying.
No, they do not.
To be fair, my niece tries to tell me things, and I only understand like maybe a third of the words that she's saying.
I mean, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. So everyone, this was just a soft reset where we're actually going to be playing the Bluey tabletop RPG.
Bluey. I'm in.
Mom! That's all I know. It's like the theme song. Because I'll go over and my niece will be watching it, and I'm like, and I can't tell, like, is this like real, or are these like kids on crack, and it's like why their imagination's coming into real life? I will say it is from the little bits and pieces of the episodes I saw I do like the concept of it, like where at least all the ones I saw is just like the parents playing imagination with the kids, and that's the whole episode.
Bluey teaches, like, Bluey, man, they just lay down life.
Mm-hmm.
Bluey ended up on Instagram today because there was an entire sequence of one of their recent episodes where they like have these two moms interacting, and Bluey's mom is feeling like super like she has lots of mom guilt, right? Like that's a real thing. And this other mom comes to her, and like they have this touching moment where she's just like, I just want you to know you're doing a good job. And I'm not even a mom. And I started talking about crying. I cried watching Bluey today on Instagram. So, you know, Bluey just brings the feels, man, while also being loud and obnoxious and very colorful for children.
And those parents are just super parents. Those are the kind of parents that make every other parent look like they are absolutely terrible.
While also like feeling very relatable, which is like something that's hard to do, I think.
Yeah.
Bluey's the show. It's the show, man. So we're now a Bluey recap podcast.
Look, I'm just gonna say, if you want to see two other icons talk about their issues and stuff, just pick up the Batman Judge Dredd collection. It's just two icons. This is the second time I'm using this prop in the podcast.
Okay, let's go kill some monsters.
Just like Batman and Judge Dredd in the collection, not sponsored.
You need to start getting some royalties or kickbacks or something.
I don't think they make this anymore. Like, I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
probably not. Probably did not sell very well.
Yeah. 2012.
Wow, that was a long time ago. I graduated from college that year. And I didn't even know John yet.
I was a year away from graduating college because I went late.
No, wait, that's a lie. I didn't graduate from college.
Wow,
that's when
what
I
a liar.
Should have graduated.
But then your drug addiction came out and everyone knew your secrets. Because you were eating
apart.
children.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
I want to watch Blade.
Dave, why are you exposing my life on?
Well, you shouldn't post it on Instagram. That reminds me, another thing that... So, on Instagram, because I post all like the food stuff I make on Instagram, and then I had somebody that followed me like from like another streamer who does food content, and I sat there and just like remembered I have pictures on there of when I was a youth pastor that is the like, because it was just my normal account. I'm like, whatever, but now it's very much come into like a food account. I'm like, and so after we finished recording Nomads of the Cosmos yesterday, I just went through and I'm like,
Purge.
yes, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
delete this. I'm like, and then there was like pictures of when I was like working at a camp, and so it's like, there's a kid there. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, that it's even funnier if people know my camp stories, because I got yelled at by, like, I was a pretty high up staff, but then I got yelled at by like the upper echelon because I didn't learn any of the campers' names. So I'm like, to where my argument was, and I don't think they had a good counter argument, was they're leaving in a week. Who cares?
Oh my god.
But then, needless to say, I only did that for a year.
You, get over there.
Well, like the thing is, I wasn't a counselor. I was like the guy that was over the counselors to make sure the counselors were doing their job and everything. But I did come up to them one week and I'm like, hey, I learned a camper's name, and like this lady, she's like, really? Oh, and it's like, yeah, his name's this. And it's like, how'd you learn that? Oh, well, we're sending him home because he keeps beating everybody in the cabin. So, and she's like, that's not what we meant. And I'm like, it's like,
be more
hey,
specific.
Y'all are the one that asked me to come up here for the summer. So, but yeah, last night it was just a purge, and then it's like Instagram's like, you gotta wait like 30 days to get rid of this. And I was like, hey, as long as people can't see it.
Yeah, it's just off your post.
Yeah, because it's like I scrolled down and like it was like one of those things that like clearly popped out. Like, I'm not ashamed of the pictures or anything; they're very clean pictures. But it's like, it's some that I'm just like, with a profile that is that went from a like just a whatever account to a very public account, and who knows where things will go in the future as I keep doing creation of different things. I'm like, I don't care if they can see the building that I used to work at, but let's get rid of any like noticeable underage people.
Yeah, that's smart.
But hey, let's get rid of some overaged people, because you guys have lived too long for a Call of Cthulhu game.
I mean, that is true. I can't argue with that.
But Rose and Sarah will be heartbroken.
That's not my problem.
That's true.
I don't know.
Problem.
Technically, it is your problem at the moment because you'd be role-playing them being heartbroken if they came up.
Hey,
but...
that will be... Let me rephrase.
And we want tears, Dave.
Yeah.
We want real tears.
Yeah.
Let's see. If the podcast folder would open. Let's see. The sad... There we go. Here's the sad music. It's in the folder that's named sad.
Oh, that's smart.
Very literal.
Yeah, I have all the emotions. I have action, chill, fun, sad, scary, unnatural. And then I have a whole bunch of ones I didn't put into other things. Do you know what this song was for? It was played on this podcast.
Was this when Sally died?
Yep. It's for her funeral.
Oh, it's appropriate.
Which is funny because the title is Words for a Good Man, but she wasn't a man. She was dead. So we're not here to do that. So that's right, everybody. If you listen to more than half an episode, you realize this is the combat action music, because I haven't found any better examples, and it's era vague.
Which is helpful.
Yes.
Serviceable.
all my other ones have like metal guitars, and I'm like, can't play that until we get at least to the 80s, maybe the 70s. But yeah, so we have Caleb and Skip just kind of punching some hinges and getting into the back room as they hear, well, I guess we'll do this the hard way. And with that, let me know if this music's too loud. I think I messed with my headphone settings and everything's loud now.
I think it's okay on my side.
And Cora, he says that, and he just snaps his fingers, and Sister Lewis' eyes both open as she begins to stand up, as pretty much what is it, brother Billy? He just kind of crosses his arms and stays there. So we're gonna try to do this close to as we can. So everyone's dex. What's your dex? Actually, I think it's Caleb. If I remember, Caleb and Skip have the same dex at 60 or 70 or
58.
something.
I'm 65.
65. Okay, so
Caleb was 58.
I'm gonna like. Alright, so Skip, Caitlin, Corey, what's yours?
50.
All right. And then I will fill in the spots for the others when it gets to their turn. So, Skip, you can go first.
Okay, so what do we see in this room?
It's dark, but yeah, you pretty much you see a door kind of like on the pretty much here on the side. It's like at a 90-degree. So if you came in on the east wall, yeah, the east wall, looking towards the south, there's a door there, but then it's like kind of cluttering where it looks like it has a lot of like different props and like other stuff that they would use for like, I don't know if they had VBS at that time, but I'm saying that they did.
Summer camp.
Yep. Like camps, and there's like just kind of different like just like sports equipment and stuff, but you can see that there's a door that's leading there, and you can kind of see so there's a door there, and then there's a door on the other side that is so that was on the south door. There's a door on the west side that also goes in, but you can see the south door has a slight green glow coming out from it.
All right, I'm going to step into the room then and go to the door with the green glow and see if I can hear anything coming from the other side.
All right. Yeah, well, I'll
have to do a listen.
Yeah, do a listen.
Check. Which I realize I do not have a good. It's close. 26 over 20. So,
You have luck?
Yeah, I think I'm going to push luck on that.
Alright. So, yeah, you pretty much hear, like, the kind of the, like, almost like a stone, like, the thin stones, like, you know, when they kind of, like, hit each other and give, like a tinkling kind of sound, like kind of just not metal when it hits, but like kind of just real thin stones. The sounds like kind of like a wind. Shoot, what are they called? Not a wind machine.
Wind
yeah,
chimes?
wind chime. Yeah, like you hear like a stone wind chime, but it's like it's still soft, but it's like. It sounds like a ton of different stones kind of clinking off each other.
Okay. Skip's gonna kind of like motion for Caleb to come over. And then kind of whisper like, "What is that?"
Alright. Well, when it's Caleb's turn,
When it's his turn, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, with that, Cora, you see that Brother Billy begins to walk forward, and like kind of just positions himself behind Matthias.
Okay.
And kind of stops there, arms crossed, like wings flexing. And with that, Caleb, it is your turn.
So I'm going to move up with Skip and kind of whisper. Okay, so when we open the door, we want to find the closest one of them, whether it be Billy or the woman, and I want you to basically run up to them and use the rune, and I'm going to shoot wherever the core shows up.
All right. Do I have to do anything to use the rune?
It's just gonna be an action to rip it.
Okay.
And you gotta be close.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Skip just kind of like nods his head in understanding.
And John's gonna lose another character.
I mean, it's possible.
Okay.
And with that, I want to open the door just a tiny bit so we can peek through.
All right. Stealth.
Oh, that is a 90 over 25.
Yeah. So it's just like. and like you hear now I'm getting everyone's names mixed up. Father Bailey just like, oh gosh, I forgot to WD-40 that. And he's like, oh, hey Caleb, and the weird man that hangs out with Poe.
My God.
And Matthias is just like,
shut him up right now.
and Matthias like whips his head around as he sees, like, everyone kind of like turns and sees you guys. So next, he's like, it's actually Matthias's turn, and he's like, where I be, we're surrounded. Whatever shall we do? Luis, do your work. And it's actually Luis's turn, where she stands up and she begins to call the fire towards her as a die flies out of my hand. Alright, and it looks like she's kind of just makes a, like, kind of like a bolt of fire and just kind of like goes, like, points her fingers and like it goes and blasts towards the door, but it hits the door, kind of just like kind of blasting off its hinges, but you guys don't take any damage. And so and also this pause is annoying me, so I forgot that's why I don't like using this song. So I think this is, nope. One of these songs. There we go. I think that one has a better thing. This is, I need to edit that song to take out the dead space so we have an actual loop. Oops. So, badoop. Yeah, so pretty much that happens. And once again, as the firebolt comes in, it is actually Charles. He runs in. Why is there so many characters with the name C? And all right, so he actually he comes in and throws he grabs one of the fire extinguishers that Cora left at the door and chucks it in the air, and then shoots it out of the air, kind of over Louise, and like the contents of it just like showers on her, and you can see like the fire sputtering a little bit, but it's still like it's just like and it's still like there. And now Cora, it's your turn.
Okay. How far is Cora from Louise?
I pictured that you were still kind of like halfway in the building. Like I didn't, and feel free to correct me. I didn't feel like you walked all the way up. It felt like you were kind of still in like the first third of the building.
Yeah. So would she have enough movement? Okay, so she needs to go and get the... You can tell me how much I can do. So what I want to do is go back and grab the other fire extinguisher that I left right at the door. And then ultimately I want to get to Louise to try and spray her, but you can tell me how far I actually get.
I can say that you can dash back and grab the fire extinguisher and then make it part of the way back. Like it will be your next.
Chance? That's fine. Is there any chance? Because I know that you had said that like there were pews spread like pushed to the side, but then some were still standing. Is there a pew in between her and I that I can like duck behind?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So Cora's gonna rush back, grab the fire extinguisher, and then duck behind a pew so that she can kind of like peek out, but is, at least partially covered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you can totally do that. So
right,
yeah, you're behind the pew. And then lastly,
my slow son.
Well, I think he was holding, and then it was like everyone ran before him. Like, because he is very fast, but yeah, he just seems to be last, and he kind of dashes up and he kind of gets next to you and he's like, "Mom, are you okay?"
Yeah, I'm fine, but we need to stay on our toes.
Hey, and he's like, you can spot, like, it looks weird to see like a gun in his hand, but he's like, and he looks like, "Don't worry, Mom, I haven't forgot what you taught me." And he like kind of holds open his like trench coat that he's wearing, and there's just like multiple throwing knives of like different materials. And he's like, "I'm a specialist now," and with like a smile, and it's just but he's gonna wait to see how the
yeah. So Cora kind of like grins at him, and she's like, "That's my kid. Listen, I'm gonna try and get close to her and rip this rune. Be ready and see if you can take a shot, if we can see where her core is."
Mm-hmm. All right. So, with that, it will go back to the top. Skip, it is your turn.
All right, so did we open the door into the main room?
The door's gone now. Like, the fire lady blew it up.
Okay, so we're all now in the same main church room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're supposed to be running it, Billy.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, is he within range? So what I'm thinking I want to try and do is run up and like kind of like restrain, like do like a behind the back kind of like arm restrain, and then rip the rune and try and like hold him.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna die.
Sounds like a lot of multiple actions.
He's also like 3 times your size, isn't he?
You're also going to end up putting yourself in the firing line by trying to grapple him.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like where it's at.
What's going on here? Oh.
The music is going to be the death of our keeper tonight.
And I'm not like super digging this music either. So, I
right,
have
John,
like action songs at work with almost every other setting, and then it's like this one that's like the one we record the most is like I don't have a good action song because we spent 50 episodes just talking.
True story.
So, but anyway, yeah, I'm just like kind of just trying to scroll through real quick. Well, if you want to try to grapple
Well, what is like I forget. What is the actual action of like activating the rune? Like I know it's an action, but what does it like entail?
it's just running up and ripping the rune. Like you don't have to roll anything, but it's like it is like the process of it is like just getting up there and ripping it is like.
Can I do it and throw it at the target?
No, like Charles was very clear that you have to like it has to be ripped like in close proximity. Because it's like maybe it. I guess a good way to like just to explain it like maybe in like a Pathfinder D&D kind of frame set is that it's like a short burst.
Sure. Okay.
So that like activates immediately.
Here's your rune. As you're running up close to it, be something along those lines.
To
activate it.
Can you run past? Like, so could he run up and then run away, or like the running up and activating is essentially it, and then he's just stuck there?
Well, what if we do something like, and we can like decide if like planning this with Caleb like takes a turn or whatever. But what if I have Caleb kind of, lay some covering fire, some shots at him to like try and grab attention. I'll run up, do like a power slide, activate the rune while I'm under him. And then since Caleb's already like, targeted on like tracks to wherever the rune is and takes a shot.
If you want to do that, you'll have to wait for Caleb.
Yeah, I know. You'd have to wait for Caleb's turn to. I would essentially just like start running would be, I guess, my action.
Okay. Well, now if you want to do everything you just said, like you just have to delay and go.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, we could do like a delay. I mean, could I do a delay and like basically, the idea is that I'm explaining the plan to him and then take my turn.
Oh yeah, talking to free action
consecutively with him.
Yeah.
So essentially, John, you're just letting Billy go first. Really, is what it comes down to. Is Billy's gonna go, and then you and Caleb are gonna do your thing.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, is essentially what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the worst arrow I've ever drawn. Whatever. It's with a mouse. So while you're doing that, Billy, like, I think I just said he like looked at you guys. Or no, he was over by Trollburn, and like, what is it? Skip, you remember hearing, like, as you see Billy, like, kind of spread his wings and, like, is creating, like, almost like a little, like, shell with his wings. And, like, that stone wind chime is, like, you hear that from his wings.
Oh, okay.
So he's kind of like in this defensive position, kind of just covering for Matthias.
Right.
And
gotcha.
Now you guys can go and do what you want to do.
All right. So Skip, like, grabs Caleb's attention and says, I'm going to dash at him and rip the rune. I need you to fire a couple of shots to grab his attention I'm gonna get, as I get close enough, I'm gonna go into a power slide to keep low, and then hopefully it'll light up his spot and you can shoot.
So, Caleb is basically going to be firing with his more special gun for this. So it's going to be. I can't provide covering fire this way, but I can. I guess I grab something from the room to throw out into the main room as some cover.
Also,
but actually, that would take my action for making that shot, wouldn't it?
Well, let me this is something that I didn't Charles would have said this, but it's once the rune is ripped, it's not like a second, like a little ping. Like it's kind of like it's like a little like it marks where it is. So it's like he's letting you guys. He would have. It's something I forgot to mention last time, but it's like the rune. Like once you rip
it's like
this
a pervasive
paper,
marking.
Yeah, it lasts for it will last for at least like a minute or so.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the instant shot, but I wouldn't be able to. I can't provide covering fire with that gun, and I don't want to be switching.
Can you use the other one?
Well, that'd be switching between them multiple times as well.
Too quickly. Yeah, gotcha.
And it'd probably work in terms of the combat system, but I don't think Caleb wants to be switching guns back and forth unless he has to. And right now, Caleb is very much in the kill the golems first, then deal with Matthias.
But he's going for Billy.
Yeah, Billy is one of the golems.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's what I
is showing you.
That's what I'm that's where I'm targeting is as soon as this rune marks it, Caleb is taking shots at it.
All right.
So I guess you're on your own, John.
So,
run and slide.
Well, you can tell him, but Kale's gonna do what he's gonna do. So, but it sounds like you are committing, and yeah, give me since you're doing you're trying to be Mario Kart over here for power slide.
I'm blue sparking.
There's not an athletics check. I'm just seeing if there's a skill that would go with this.
Dexterity.
Yeah, I was seeing if there was an actual skill that could go with there. But I'm not.
There's a dodge.
Dodge is more like a reaction in combat.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I think it's just a dex check.
Dexterity is one of the combat items.
So.
Okay. All right. Well. Well, that is a 44 under 65.
Okay. Yeah. So you do exactly what you were saying, as you charge up, and then at the last second, you kind of get down like a
feet first slide.
Yeah, you're sliding a first.
Yep.
And as you're going by, you with that dex check and everything, you rip it. I want both Skip and Caleb and Cora. You guys can roll a free spot hidden check right here.
That is a 1 under 49.
Ooh.
I have a 52 under 58.
Cora.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was just them.
No,
Yeah,
I apologize. Well, I failed it, so no worries.
Yep. No
Apparently, I'm not paying attention. I just heard them.
Yeah. So you're still talking to Tim. You're like, yeah, boy.
Yeah. You got it, kid.
So yeah, Nite, not Nite. Well, I guess yes, Nite. But Caleb, you're scanning all over and you're not seeing a mark. But then you see a soft glow from the other side of his body. And like as Skip, as you slide through, you can see that like pretty much he's kind of was protecting his wing over here as you were sliding here, and his other one is like open a little bit, as you can see kind of on his right like tricep there's like a glow.
Okay.
Weird place.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, they all got him in weird places theoretically.
Your right tricep.
So, let's see. I'm trying to think how I can get... So Caleb's going to slowly move kind of towards the side of the room away from Louise, and kind of advance a little bit to try and get a better vantage on this this glow that seems to be on the other side of the of Billy, and take aim for the bit of glow that he can see, and just remembering how much it seemed to punch through the other golem, just risk taking that first shot to, hopefully it just punches through and will do enough from punching through.
You're trying to shoot through?
Basically, shoot through
wing?
Billy, shoot through Billy into the soft spot that I can kind of see.
Okay, so from the back, yeah. So this is gonna be a little bit, like definitely a little bit, not a little bit, more difficult of a shot to do.
So that is a 22 under 60, which would be that would be a hard success.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to. There we go. Actually, I just realized you guys, I forgot people who have readied firearms would have a 50 plus to their decks. I keep forgetting about that. Yep. Yeah, I'm just reading real quick to make sure. And then, alright, so you initiate. So he's going to. I don't think I can dodge with a gunshot.
I mean, he'd also have to see that I was moving to shoot as well.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like you weren't sneaking either. Like he was watching that door.
Right, but
I thought
is
he
this
was
happening essentially at the same time as Skip?
I
Like-
guess. So, well, roll damage.
just laid on the side. That is a 17 total damage on that.
Whoa.
Bonus damage from that gun.
Nice.
Remind me real quick what I'm trying to remember what I said with the bonus like the gun
It's
damage.
Monsters or supernatural creatures get an extra 1d6 of damage.
All right. However, you notice that it feels like not all of that goes through, and it's like, and with that shot, like you definitely, yeah, like you definitely like punctured, like, because when you said shooting from the back, I was imagining we're shooting, because his wing, like I'm making sure we're saying the same thing, because it's like his wing is covering Matthias. His left wing is covering Matthias. His right wing, because it sounds like you went around the back, is kind of covering part of his body. So it's like you'd be shooting through the wing.
Yeah, so I guess the way that I kind of envisioned it was that he was... I thought that he was still covering Matthias facing away from that back room, and that was on the right side, so I would have been... I think Louise would have been on the right side as we exited that room, is kind of, I think, how it was pictured, right?
Luis is farther forward.
She's like in the middle of the aisle, like if you imagine.
Like Matthias
Okay.
and them are on the stage.
then
She is on
Luis
the floor.
Yeah, like me and Timmy are on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
So I imagine him kind of like leaning, like his wings are over top of Matthias on the stage. And if you imagine like a winged creature, his wings are going to be covering.
Yeah, it's covering the back of the arm. So like the way it sounded like you were shooting, it was shooting through his wing.
Yeah, I was basically shooting through, because I didn't have a clear shot on the arm itself at that point.
Yeah. Like, I'm just making sure like we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
Well, yeah, and I wasn't necessarily expecting to
Yeah.
fully take out the core with that
Yes.
one shot just because of the cover of
No.
it, but it was
Yeah,
basically...
like, it's just...
I'm not going to not shoot at that
Yes,
point either.
I'm just making sure that like you don't think I'm being unfair
Oh, no,
or
no,
anything with all that.
no,
So it's
not at
just
all.
like I wanted to make sure that we were picturing all the
Yeah.
same thing. So it's like you definitely did some damage, but it's like not all of it went through.
Yeah, and Caleb's thought on taking that first shot is that the shot on the other golem did a bunch of visible damage, even though it didn't really slow it down a lot. So that's why it's like I'm taking this shot regardless. I can kind of see where it's at, and working to find a better
Yep.
point of view to get a better shot.
Yep. So, yeah. So he's definitely hit, and then like Matthias is like, "Brother Billy, are you okay, my friend?" And I need to. Okay.
Man, he's gonna heal him.
And like something catches his attention as he looks past everybody.
Matthias.
Yes.
Okay.
Luis, it's her turn, and she, well, you guys are on the other side. She's not gonna attack Billy and Matthias, so she, like with her sputtering flame, she goes like, and oh, I rolled a 6. Cool. It's just like, and she just like shoots a column of like a stream of flame, like kind of towards where Charles is, where he's gonna try to dodge. Oh, and he does. Like he's like kind of like jumps behind some pews as the flame shoots out. But I believe dodging takes Charles's action, so he can't do anything. Cora, it is your turn.
Okay, so are we close enough to Louise that like could we hit her with the fire extinguisher from where we are?
No, like you're still like pretty much you made it back to the same place that you were, and Louise hasn't moved.
Okay.
So
she's
yeah.
still.
So it's
All right.
yeah.
Okay, so I think she's gonna turn to Timmy and say, "You wanna work some? You wanna do some teamwork on this one? I'll run in front, spray her, and you rip the rune, and then get out."
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so she'll hold her action for Timmy's turn, which I know is next. But the plan will be for Cora to lead, spraying
Oh, yeah, he'll
Louise,
follow you. Yeah,
and then for Timmy to rip the rune near her.
yeah. I just need a skill roll or something for the fire extinguisher.
I mean, I certainly could do dexterity if you want, like my ability to handle.
Or that, or maybe just an intelligence check to make sure that you're trying to get
okay.
as much of the spray on.
Right.
This
Okay.
weird sentence.
Okay. That is a 20 under 60.
Yeah, so you're able to kind of like hobble your way up there because you still have like the damaged leg.
Dragging my leg.
And so you get up there and like just the same things. Like it's not as effective as like when Charles shot the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
But it, like you can see like the flames like kind of it's just like the powerful thing. It gets a little bit weaker. Where just instead of being like this roaring fire, it's more like closer to like a small kind of like tiki torch flame.
Okay.
But like in both our hands. And then like Timmy, he's gonna run up. Yeah, and he doesn't trip, and he just he goes up, and he's just like, yeah, and it's just like the glow, like it rips, and then like underneath like all the soot and like powder from the fire extinguisher, like you see like on her, like she actually has 4 cores, and it's one on each knee and 1 on each elbow.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, the thing that I hate personally, anything that has to do with joints. However, with all that action and everyone, I want everyone to give me a spot hidden check.
I don't think so.
87 over 60, or
That is a.
it's over, whatever it is.
I have a
58.
48 under 49. Woo!
And I failed at a 75 over 65.
Okay, it would make sense, like, especially what happens. So, pretty much, I forget who clocked that, or I don't think anyone actually, like, you guys all saw like, Matthias stopped speaking. And, Caleb, after your shot, you see outside the church, in the doorway, is a tall, wiry man in a polka-dotted suit.
What?
And he's like, I heard you were looking for me. We'll see you next time.
What?
Well, hello, Theodore.
Hello. After Cherrypalooza, I have gained the power to break the fourth wall.
That's right, we're gonna
I hope
start
you like your dreams.
Introducing fireside chats with Theodore. That's gonna be our first Patreon.
Yes, it's super
Edition.
metal.
Woo!
Top
Matthias
tier.
going to eat Theodoro now and claim his power.
Gross.
That's
Top
what's
tier.
happening.
The top tier Patreon reward is a Q&A session with Theodore.
Yes. I will pay for that personally to be part of it.
And then, in normal fashion, he'll just show up in the last 10 minutes and leave.
And give you no
I don't know where
information
he's at.
at
He
all.
said he was going to show up.
But thank you, everyone, for listening. We will see you next week. Let's see, this was episode 9, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, hey, that might have been the penultimate episode. Who knows? We might actually be finishing a chapter with the
On time?
predetermined. Yeah, on time, which will...
Yay.
You guys better write your questions that you want to ask for this season, but I don't think there... I feel
Yeah,
like this
that's
one was
true.
very straightforward, so...
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Do whatever sharing things you want to do for this. It helps the podcast. I never say that enough. I forget what they all are. So, until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.